Hey folks, welcome back to week 18, the final week of our NFL picks for this NFL season 2024-25. Last week we went 13-3 straight up. We do this for entertainment purposes only, no gambling involved, just a little something fun we like to do here with our community, just to see how we do and how we don't do. 13-3 overall, so that brings us to just over 70% for our win percentage for the year. So I don't even want to look at what it would be against the evil betting line. But anyway, with the final set of games ready to go up to our 272 total regular season games, set to kick off on Saturday here. Let's get started. Browns at Ravens. Ravens in this one are favored by 20. That is a huge line for an NFL game. Now, granted, the Browns are not very good. They just lost at home to the Dolphins. But 20, that seems really, really high. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win. However, I do not think they will cover. I don't think they'll probably end up resting some folks. I think that they're probably in a dogfight to get Houston, whom they probably feel like they have a better shot of playing against than than say the third seed. But I definitely think the Ravens will win. I just don't think they'll cover. That's a really fat line. In fact, for memory's sake, the fattest line in NFL history was back in like '08 or something between the Broncos and the Jaguars, and it was 28. Broncos were favored by 28 in that one. So over under 41.5. Now, they're expecting it, in essence, they're saying that the Browns are not going to score anything at all when you have a line of 20 like that with 41.5. So I don't think the Ravens will cover, but I do think they'll win. And then the nightcap on Saturday night brings us the Steelers at home against the Bengals. And very unusual, the Steelers at home are a 2.5-point underdog in this one. Again, they're both kind of fighting. They and the Ravens are both kind of fighting for the title for the AFC North. And avoiding the wild card so they can get that home game. But Steelers being an underdog in this one's really kind of curious. I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. I'm going to call the outright upset. I think the Steelers will win over under 48.5. I think that they will stay under that over under as well. Then Sunday's games bring us the Texans of Houston limping into Tennessee to take on the Titans. Titans are actually 2-point favorites in this one. Texans are locked into the 4th seed. They can't do anything more, so it really makes sense. I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I don't think I'm sorry, correction. I'm going to take the Titans in this one. I don't think the Texans are going to put up much of a fight. They're really going to kind of treat it like a mini bye, if you will, because there's really nothing for them to play for. They're already hosting as the AFC South champion in Wild Card Weekend. And then we have the Panthers taking on the Falcons. Falcons are 7.5-point favorites in this one. By the way, the Titans, Texans over under of 36.5. I think it might go over on that one. I think that the Titans might actually score a few touchdowns in that one. So I'm going to take the over and that the Titans will, in fact, outright upset. Falcons will win at home. I'm not sure that they will win by the margin of 7.5 that they're predicted to win by. Over under 47.5. I think that they'll win. I could see this being a 3 or 4 point victory though, so I don't think they'll cover through the 7.5. Over under 47.5. I think it'll probably stay under on that 47.5 as well. And then that moves us into the Jaguars at the Colts. Jaguars have nothing to play for. They're actually kind of fighting for the first pick in the NFL draft come May. Colts are eliminated from the playoffs and any playoff contention, but they are at home in this one. Colts are favored by 5 over under 43.5. I'm inclined to take the Colts here. I think they will win. I think they will cover, and I think it'll stay under that over under. I don't see a whole ton of scoring in this one. And then we have the Commanders at the Cowboys. Commanders have a 6.5-point favorite in this one, and the over-under 43.5. I think that the Commanders will win. I think they will cover. The Cowboys have nothing to play for in this one. They'll probably just try and improve their draft order in the May draft. I think it'll probably stay under on the over-under. I don't see a whole ton of scoring in this one. There's really no need for it. Giants at Eagles. Eagles favored by 3 in this one. Kind of surprising that the Eagles are only favored by 3, but they're kind of locked into that number 2 seed in the NFC, as well as the NFC East champs. So I can understand them resting some players and stuff. Over under 37.5, I could see this being like a 17-13 type of affair, something like that. So I think the Eagles will win. I think they will cover, and I think that they will stay under the over-under on that one. And then you have the Bears traveling up the road into Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers are favored in this one by 10. They are favored by 10 in this one, over under 41.5. The Packers are still trying to improve their playoff, their seeding, if you will, in the wild card. So I think that they will win. I think they will cover. I don't think the Bears will come out with much fight at all. And then you have the over under 41.5. I think it'll probably stay under on that one. I'm thinking like a 24-10 type of final for this particular game. And that brings us to the late slate of games on Sunday. You have the Seahawks traveling into LA to take on the Rams in what would have been a battle for the NFC West crown. However, due to the strength of victory tiebreaker, the Rams got a hold of the division crown last Sunday when the Washington Commanders defeated the Atlanta Falcons. That was really, really devastating for Seahawk fans for sure. I do like the Seahawks in this one. They're favored by 6.5. I see the Rams probably taking the day off, really. They'll host a wild card game as the division champ here next weekend. 6.5, I think the Seahawks will win. I think they'll cover. Over under 38.5. I see it staying under on that 38.5 over under. And then that brings us to the Dolphins, my Dolphins, who are fighting for their playoff lives in the AFC. They have to win, and they have to hope that Denver loses in order for them to get in and get that 7th and final wild card spot in the playoffs. Dolphins favored by 1 in this one. Ordinarily, when I see a line like this, I would take the home team. I'm inclined to take the Dolphins here. I think they're going to be a little more motivated. They play at the same time as the Broncos right now, so there could be a little scoreboard watching while both teams are on the field here. Over under 38.5. I think the Dolphins will definitely win, and they will cover, and they will stay under on that over-under. I don't see a whole ton of scoring in this one in what could be Aaron Rodgers' very last game in the NFL. And then that brings us to the aforementioned Broncos. They're favored by 10.5 over the Chiefs. Chiefs are already locked into the number 1 seed. They have the bye. There's nothing for them to play for in this game. They're resting a whole bunch of starters. They're on the road. So this is kind of like 2 weeks off for them, right? Because they're off the first week of the playoffs, that first round bye, and then here on Sunday. I got to say that the Broncos will prevail, and they will lock up that final wild card spot. And then the Broncos will take on the Bills on wild card weekend in Buffalo, Western New York there. I think the Broncos will win. 10.5. I'm not so sure. We'll see how well the second stringers play for the Chiefs, but I don't think they'll cover. Over under 40.5. I think it'll probably stay under on that over under as well. And then that brings us to the Niners at the Cardinals. Cardinals are 4.5-point favorites in this one, over under 42.5. I think the Cardinals will win. I think they will cover. I think it'll probably stay under on that over under, though. I don't see them going crazy on that one. And then the nightcap for not only Sunday's games, but the 2024-2025 NFL season on Sunday night brings us a huge clash for the NFC North title and the NFC number 1 seed throughout the playoffs. Will it be the Vikings or the Lions? Now, the Lions prevailed earlier in this year in Minnesota. I am inclined to take the Lions in this one at home. They're favored by 3, over under a 56.5. They're expecting a ton of scoring in this one. I'll take the Lions. I think they'll win by 3. I'm inclined, and I know my buddy Vids from Mike, VIDSFROM MIKE, local streamer here in Vegas, does some drone videos, so check him out if you haven't already. He's a huge Vikings fan. He's probably going to laugh at me on Sunday for this, but I'm going to take the under on this. I think that they will stay under, but if this could end up being a shootout, who knows, between these two teams. So want to say thank you all so very, very much for joining us, and all of you who have been here throughout the season. And we'll do our wild card picks for wild card weekend next week, probably on Thursday evening, and get those out for you. And as always, thank you all so very, very much for being here. We would not be here without you. So always remember, it's the journey. We'll see you next time, folks.